Hey, to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, you're keeping us safe, and we appreciate you. Keep up the good work. We love you.
Let's revisit Super Bowl winning head coach Tony Dungy.
Only 23% of Gen Zers consider themselves avid sports fans.
NFL Hall of Famers were interviewed by right-wing Dracula here and gave their insights on Gen Z not watching live sports as much as other generations.
I think we'll always have sports in some form or fashion. Some people are disenchanted with it.
What do you make of the Taylor Swift effect here?
That's the thing that's disenchanting people with sports now. There's so much on the outside that coming in, entertainment value and different things, as taking away from what really happens on the field.
Because the man talks a lot, and not just for NBC.
And let's work together on this. Maybe not use the 3 minutes before the game during the national anthem.
He told Colin Kaepernick to shut up and dribble.
Well, those prayers were answered. DeMar's recovering now. He's home. He's been released from the hospital. But what's the lesson in that? You know, an unbelievable thing happened that night. A professional football game with millions of dollars of ticket money and advertising money on the line. That game was canceled. Why? Because a life was at stake. And people wanted to see that life saved. Even people who aren't necessarily religious got together and called on God. Well, that should be encouraging to us, because that's exactly why we're here today. Because every day in this country, innocent lives are at stake. And the only difference is they don't belong to a famous athlete and they're not seen on national TV. But those lives are still important to God and in God's eyes.
He'd invoke Damar Hamlin at an anti-abortion rally.
You know, people will sometimes ask me, man, you know, when do you get a time to rest? I see you all over the state.
Shows support for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Because every day in this country, innocent lives are at stake. And the only difference is they don't belong to a famous athlete and they're not seen on national TV. Well, I think we have to take a lesson from Damar's story. We have to pray. We need to pray with the same fervor that we prayed with during that week, because God answers prayer, and He will answer these prayers to save these precious unborn lives as we go forward. So if we do our part, we'll save more and more of these lives. But that can't be the end of the story. When God does give us more of these lives, what are we going to do to nurture these children and help them grow?
Abysmal. This came at the March for Life rally, which leads us to debunking their favorite talking points from Jason Selvig of The Good Liars.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Here live as the March for Life continues.
I'm not okay with abortion whatsoever.
What should happen to these children that are born?
I think adoption.
But adoption is a great choice instead of abortion.
So how many children have you adopted?
I don't have any children that I've adopted.
Oh, I have 7 children.
How many of those children are adopted?
None.
No adoption.
So you guys are just having children.
Yep.
Amazing. Not adopting the others. Okay, well, anyway, we are here at the March for Life. A lot of them want other people, to have children. They don't want to help.
I saw the sign, choose adoption.
Yeah.
And how many children have you adopted?
Not able to adopt. I'd love to adopt. We weren't able to adopt.
And how many children have you adopted?
None.
None.
I have 2 of my own. Message. Yeah.
And how many children have you adopted?
None.
And how many children have you adopted?
I have 2 of my own.
Yeah.
But so you've adopted?
I have 2 of my own.
But you haven't adopted it.
No.
Okay.
And
we need to abolish abortion, no exceptions.
So this says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And that's from the Bible?
Yeah, from Jeremiah 1. Right. So God knows these babies in the womb. He has a purpose and a destiny for each child. They shouldn't be killed.
Didn't He kill all the firstborn sons in Egypt?
I think I'm done.
with Dungy, there is an alarming report out right now, and it comes from Al Weaver of The Hill. Asked a GOP source the possibilities to run for Peters' seat in Michigan, they list a few names, and the last one is Tony Dungy. Yeah, Tony Dungy is considering running for a Senate seat in the state of Michigan. Why is this problematic? Look no further than his history. When the Daily Wire, you know about that organization at this point if you're watching the show, when they tweeted a story about a Minnesota state legislator pushing for schools to provide students in grades 4 through 12 with access to menstrual products in the bathroom, Dungy would say and reply, "That's nothing. Some school districts are putting litter boxes in the school bathrooms for the students who identify as cats. Very important to address every student's needs." This has been debunked over and over and over and over again. And it says something about the company you keep, because you know who else put out this nonsensical rhetoric? Lauren Boebert. Yeah. Lauren Boebert pushed this stuff. So did Rogan on his show. The fact checkers, by the way, gave it a pants on fire rating. When Michael Sam, the first openly gay NFL player, was drafted, Dungy said he wouldn't have drafted Michael Sam if he were in the position too, because he labeled him a distraction. Yet, when Ray Rice was seen committing an act of DV on his then fiancée, Janae Palmer, in an elevator, Dungy had a different tune. He said he would welcome Ray Rice to his team with open arms. Contrasting styles, I suppose. Jason Collins, meanwhile, the first openly gay NBA player, was also, not shockingly, criticized by Dungy. He called Collins being gay a lifestyle choice. So bad. So bad. Not only bad, you don't have to say any of this stuff. None of it. And yet, you keep doing it over and over and over again. There's more. He's friends with Pastor Andrew Womack, who is known for saying being gay is 3 times worse than smoking, and has demanded the LGBTQ plus community wear warning labels on their foreheads. Oh, by the way, it's not just Tony Dungy. James Brown, the longtime sports broadcaster, good friends with this guy. Dungy would equate being gay to being a murderer. This is all his stuff, okay? To understand the depths that this man just hates gay people, let's go over this. He teamed up with the Indiana Family Institute, the state's leading lobbying group against gay rights. And they oppose all efforts to create or advance legal rights for what is an outdated term. He would fundraise over $70,000 to simply fight gay rights. Via awful announcing in 2022, he campaigned against Prop 3, a ballot initiative aimed at codifying reproductive rights into the Michigan Constitution following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. He labeled the proposal a subtle but direct attack on parental rights. And he encouraged the residents to vote against it. They did not listen to him. Michigan voters approved it, ensuring access to abortion, contraception, and other reproductive rights under state law. Pitiful, man. And it says a lot that he is undoubtedly, if he decides to run, the same crowd that hates sports and politics is going to say and call him Coach Dungy, which is another layer of how terrible this is. So we wait to see who they decide to run, as Peters has decided not to seek re-election. And Michigan, I'm keeping an eye on this.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.